UFC 322 is this Saturday night, and we have 14 fights headlined by 2 super fights, 2 title fights, and 2 champions moving up a weight division looking for a second title. This is going to be a stacked pay-per-view. I am super excited to break these down. In the main event, you got Islam moving up, vacating his strap to take on the 170-pound champion and Jack Della Maddalena. In the co-main, you got Weili Zhang moving up, vacating her title to take on Valentina Shevchenko, 2 of the female GOATs in that division there, and Islam obviously on his way to try to make a path there as well. Who knows, maybe JDM can throw a wrench in it. We'll get into it. The whole main card is stacked. Even the prelims are stacked. One of the best pay-per-views, one of the best cards of the year. I am super excited to go through this. We'll start at the bottom, work our way to the top. Let me know in the comments who you guys have, what your favorite underdogs are. This is a great card, so make sure you subscribe, like the video, turn your post notifications on because we will have a great episode of Wager Wars. We got DFS by the numbers making his comeback, and I got a couple fun opponents in mind. We'll see who ends up being his opponent officially. I'll let you guys know tomorrow, but that'll be Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you turn post notifications on so you don't miss out on that. And last but not least, let's see who's watching the intros. This time for this week's giveaway, $25 to whoever can tell me who's going to get the quickest finish on this card. And just in case it's a tie, let me know how many seconds it's going to be. So who's going to get the quickest finish on this card? How many seconds is it going to be? Last but not least, man, if you need a new book, if you're looking for great lines, you're not looking to get limited once you start winning, or just some great promotions, they're Bet 105 for a reason. They are typically given better lines than a lot of your major sports books. So check out their split decision promo. If your fighter loses, you're getting 25% of your money back. They got a lot of great promotions going on. If you use my code CodyMMA or you click the link at the top of this caption, you'll get an extra $50 when you sign up, man. Let's get into this card. Like this video, subscribe. First fight on the card, we got Vladislav Borshev Slava Claus taking on Mateus Camilo. Camilo was supposed to fight recently. That fight got scrapped, and in his debut, he took on Gabe Green. Obviously, not the way not the way he wanted, not the way a lot of people saw it going. Gabe Green was a pretty big underdog going into that, and I mean, he saw Camilo had some early success, but looked like he slowed down. And if you look at his regional tape, there is some red flags on there, man. You've seen him, make some big, just rookie mistakes. I mean, he's 24 years old, so he's obviously a super young guy. He's going to have the higher ceiling here. I mean, Borshev's 33 years old. We've kind of seen, he's a finished product at this point. I know you're looking at his record like 8-6. To be fair, he's been fighting in the UFC for the, majority of that. And then, he's fought some pretty tough guys. I mean, has he fought like championship level guys? No, but he's fought some pretty tough guys that I think a lot of them probably would beat Camilo too, at least at this point of his career. Obviously, Camilo, I think he's going to be making the bigger jumps, making the bigger improvements between fights. I'm sure this is going to be the best version of him that we've seen. I'm not the biggest, on him yet. I just see so many holes. I see him look super hittable on the feet, and then on the ground, you see him making a ton of mistakes. The good thing for him here is he's not going to have to worry about grappling coming from Borshev. If anything, I think it would be smart for him to mix it up, at least try to get on top of Borshev, because, I mean, that's the path to beating Borshev. The thing is, I don't think his wrestling is super great, and Borshev on the feet is a problem, especially if he doesn't have to worry about the takedown and he can really open up. If they're just going to strike, Borshev's definitely alive, but I think Camilo should be the favorite. He's got the bigger upside, the higher ceiling, bigger guy, younger guy. I think he should win, but give me Camilo. Oh, probably a decision, honestly, but it could get dicey. I don't think he's got a great gas tank, man, so if he can't mix some grappling in, it could definitely get dicey. We'll move on, though. We got Bossinger Sursurkaev taking on Eric McConico. Sursurkaev kind of been like this year's Khamzat in the sense of, he did the quick turnaround. He actually broke Khamzat's record. He's obviously super young. I mean, 24 years old. So even younger, obviously, than when Khamzat came in and had his little run. Do I think he's Khamzat? No, I do not. I don't. I don't. I mean, we kind of got a taste for it last fight. And I mean, Eric Nolan had him on Queer Street there at the end of the first round. Can you still say that in 2020? I think in 2022 you couldn't, but maybe now we can say that again. Anyway, Sursurkaev, I think this guy is super good. I don't think he's ever at least, he's 24, so let me not say the word ever. But do I think he's, and I'm not even talking about because he got rocked in the last fight. I've seen him. Obviously, his confidence is sky high. He's 10-0, and he's finishing these guys, and he looks super well rounded. I mean, he's got the Russian wrestling, the Chechen wrestling, I should specify. He's got like high level striking. He's got power. He's got, I don't know if he's super defensively responsible, but not a lot of 24-year-old fighters are. I don't think McConico has got some huge power. I didn't even think he won the last fight. I thought Brundage won that fight, to be honest with you, but it was a close fight. He's 35. I do think he probably came into the UFC a little too late. I think there is some guys in the UFC that he can beat. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't think he's got some big power to knock Sursurkaev out and catch him. I don't think he can, out wrestle or out grapple Sursurkaev. So it's like, what's his path here? I don't know. So the line should be wide, but it's just Sursurkaev. I just don't know if he's minus 1,000 worthy. I think people might be they're like, oh, it's Hamza 2.0. Like, chill out a little bit. All right, Sursurkaev by KO, but let's relax a little bit. I'm not knocking anybody taking that plus like 600 on McConico, man. If that line gets too crazy, they'll force me to do it because it's dumb. Next up, we got another big favorite. We got Angela Hill taking on Fatima Kline. And look, I tried to fade Kline in her last fight. Didn't work out for me. It did work in her debut. Obviously, Jasmine is coming off a tough loss, but is very good. And that was short notice, up a weight class. I get it. Look, Kline is good, and I didn't fade her in the last fight because I didn't think she's good. It's just she's young. She's still kind of green. Yeah, she got some experience for a girl her young age, but she's fought some decent competition on the regional scene, and I think she's super well-rounded. She's the bigger girl here. She's the more well-rounded. She's a much better grappler, like submission grappler, if they get there. But, Angela's just so experienced. She's so tough, and, she's just given us so many, tough, close 15-minute fights. So it's I think Kline wins, but I'm not going to go on and on. I honestly probably went too long on the Sursurkaev fight just because these are two huge favorites. They should both win. I mean, Kline's only minus 450, but, she's not nearly the finisher, even though she did finish Melissa in her last fight. That Sursurkaev is, even though we've also seen Sursurkaev be a little patient, but I don't know, man. Kline should win. It's lower level women's MMA. I get everybody's like, Kline next champion. Let's chill out, man. She's good. She should win. She's bigger. She's got the higher upside. She's 15 years younger. She's big hole in the big discrepancy in the grappling. She should win. I'll pick her. Yeah, I'm honestly going to pick her to win by decision. So maybe she submits her. I don't think she's going to knock her out, but we'll see. We can move on, though, because it's going to be dog or pass. I don't think I'll be betting Angela Hill unless people just keep parlaying Kline and they force me. It is, you just can't be laying minus 500 on 25-year-old women's MMA fighters, period. No exceptions. Zero exceptions. No. If you bet a 25-year-old women's MMA fighter at minus 500, go ahead and do that 10 times. Then come back and let me know how that works out. Moving on, Chepe Mariscal, Pat Sabatini. This is a great fight, man. Super high-level fight. Thank God after, the last one. I don't know why this is buried on the prelims. It is a great card, though, so I guess I get it. But, Sabatini, a guy I've been super high on both these guys, really. Sabatini, one of the best submission grapplers, one of the best jiu-jitsu. I don't want to say just grapplers because I don't think his wrestling is like lights out. It's good. It's actually, I would consider it very good. I wouldn't consider it fantastic or, elite. But he's got very good wrestling and he's got fantastic jiu-jitsu. Sorry for the AMR or what is it? ASMR? Yeah. Anyways, Chepe, this dude's just a dog, man. And did he beat Charrier? I don't know. Close fight, whatever. But he is Chepe, super well rounded. He's the much more durable. Dude's he's been finished himself. But Pat's chin is always his liability. The only thing that stops me from honestly betting Chepe as a dog here, I'll be honest with you, is just I think he initiates in the grappling so much in every fight, and that does scare me. Because Sabatini, if you're gonna get into scrambles and these grappling scrambles with him, man. Like, I don't like that for really like anybody in the division. I mean, honestly though, like Sabatini might be the best in the division at like jiu-jitsu scrambling. So, as a guy who loves a good scramble, purple belt in jiu-jitsu of 12 years, I know. I need to hurry up and get my brown. I'm slacking. Anyways, I think Chepe wins. I'm going to go with the underdog. I'm going to go with the more durable guy in a cage fight, the more well-rounded guy. I do think if he's smart, he should try to sprawl and brawl for the most part here, maybe takedowns at the end of rounds, but going out here and initiating the clinch like he always does, I don't know if that's a good idea, but I'll pick Chepe TKO. We'll move on to the next one, man. Another big favorite, and look, I'll let you guys know, even though hashtag early stoppage in the Randy fight, I don't want to talk about it. But Gerald's my boy, all right? Uncle Gerald, that's my boy. You guys always say that in the comments. That's why I gotta say it. He's only 6 years older than me. Anyways, I think I mean, look, he is my boy. I'm biased. I'll be honest. It's been a tough run, but you also like, dude, Rainer de Ritter. I know he just had a tough loss. Like, this is a guy y'all were just saying was gonna be like the next champ. So let's chill out. It was also a decent fight there until the submission, but okay, Brad Tavares is tough. Olazechuk's been on a good run. Like, I don't think these are the worst losses ever, man. I think Gerald he's a dog. He's got his way of winning fights. His striking's come a long way. Like, it's gotten a lot better, but that's not how he wins fights, man. He wins fights by getting submissions. And yeah, Kyle Daukaus is a great jiu-jitsu fighter, a great grappler. He's big. He's gonna be. I mean, he's bigger than most guys in this division. He's got he's got an awkward frame, but he's big. And he's a grappler, and he's got a bunch of subs, and Gerald's been submitted a good bit, and I get all that. He should be the favorite. Kyle should be the favorite. He is the pick. I'll put my biases aside and say, they just brought him back into the UFC. At this point, Gerald, it's a freaking young man sport, and yeah, he's not that much older, but he's got almost 60 fights. Like, it is what it is. Gerald is he would know himself that he gets why people are probably counting him out in some of these fights. But, man, that's the thing is, you can never count Gerald out. And I don't think Kyle next to a minus 400 number makes a lot of sense, man. I'm going to pick Kyle. I think he wins. I'll put my, friendship aside. But GM3 is literally one of my favorite fighters. So, everybody who calls me biased and shit, shut up. Because I'm literally going to, I wanted to come on here and just pick Gerald, honestly. But I'll be honest with you guys because you guys freaking will hold me over the coals if not. Okay, Kyle's the pick. He should be the favorite. I think the line's wide. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to be looking at some props. I think Gerald's always live. He's a dog on a bone. You can never count him out. Malcolm Wellmaker taking on Cody Haddon. Two prospects I'm super high on, man. Two really good prospects. Closely lined fight for a reason. I kind of feel nowhere near the level of Gerald, who's one of my favorites, and also I genuinely kind of consider him the homie at this point. But I do feel kind of connected to Malcolm at this point. I got some friends that are friends with him. I got I've been following him and watching since Contender Series and all his posts, and I do feel connected to the guy. I'm a little biased in this one, but. It's nowhere near the level of, with my Randy Brown, with my Gerald Mearshart, my faves, you guys know. That being said, I gotta say, man, as a big fan of Malcolm and somebody I really want to see them continue this run, Cody's a fucking problem, man. Not just because his name's Cody either. Cody Haddon is a problem. I bet him on the Contender Series against Billy Brand, another guy I think is pretty damn good. And then he went out there and beat Dan Argueta, another guy who was, not easy to look good against, honestly. But, Haddon's probably, I'll say it, he's probably the more well-rounded guy. At least from what I've seen. And he fought Steve Erceg, that's his one loss, Steve Erceg. And then, Billy Brand and Dan Argueta, that probably is higher level of competition than what we've seen from Malcolm. That ain't Malcolm's fault. He's also had several people pulling out against them or declining the fight against them. So, Everybody's saying, oh, he's fighting bums. Like, okay, dudes don't want to fight him. Like, he's knocking people out. Like, but, Cody Haddon's got really good boxing. From what I've seen, he probably has the more technical boxing. Like, he seems a little bit more, at least, like, defensively. And it's kind of hard to say because Malcolm is the more athletic guy. He's the more quick, explosive guy. So he gets away with some stuff that necessarily would your boxing coach tell you, yeah, man, like that. This is how you should be throwing these knockout blows. Maybe not, but a good punch is one that lands, as my boy Chepe Son said. And I mean, it's the truth. And especially when you got power like Malcolm, you can break some rules. Can Cody clip him? I think he definitely can. I don't think he's got nowhere near the speed or power that Malcolm does, but he's very technical everywhere. I think Cody is a serious prospect, and I think he will bounce back from this. Hopefully he doesn't take crazy damage as a Malcolm fan, because Malcolm is knocking everybody dead. But I really like both these guys. I hope it goes to a competitive decision, and I'm rooting for my boy Malcolm, but I'm going to say Malcolm gets it done, but he probably does. You know what? No, I'm going to go decision. I'm going to say he wins the first round, probably hurts him. The second two are going to be close, competitive. I'm going to say 29-28 decision for Wellmaker. He's going to get tested here. Haddon's good. I think it's a tougher matchup for Wellmaker than a lot. I'm actually kind of surprised they're making that matchup. Two really good prospects, man. Aaron Blanchfield taking on Tracy Cortez. This is actually a rematch. They fought a long time ago, though. Cortez, she did get it done in that fight, but, obviously, you go back. It was a split decision, 2019. So it's like, you don't want to read too much into that. Yeah, Cortez probably is the better wrestler and, maybe even better boxer. I just feel like the jiu-jitsu and overall grappling is on Blanchfield by a decent margin. And I feel like they're going to grapple, man. It's like never want to pick people to win fights off their back, but, I just feel like there's going to be so much scrambling and, women's MMA grappling that there's going to be a lot of Blanchfield's going to have a lot of opportunities to, even if she doesn't get a takedown, to just get on top. Through some of the clinching they're going to be doing and the cage grappling and the overall scrambling. And then she does have good sweeps and, get-ups and if Tracy takes her down. I think Tracy probably can take her down, man. I don't know if she wants to, though. I think she probably should because I don't think the grappling's, the striking's she's such a better boxer. She probably should mix in some takedowns, but, it's going to be tough. Plus 200, she did win the first fight. She does have a wrestling and potentially a boxing advantage. I don't think Erin Blanchfield striking is good at all. She's just a dog who can just, crash into the pocket. And, yeah, I faded her against Ferrell for a good reason, but I faded Cortez against Rose for a good reason as well. It's I feel like either of these girls could get a takedown, but if Blanchfield gets on top, it's going to be much bigger problems than Cortez. So it's probably would have to be dog or pass at this point. You're looking at damn near minus 250 for Blanchfield. She should get it done. I'm going to say Blanchfield by decision. It's probably going to be close, and Cortez probably gets takedowns, and it's probably going 15. So can't knock an underdog shot. Moving on, Roman Kopylov taking on G-Rod, Gregor Rodriguez, Robocop. Yeah, man. I haven't been as high as some on Kopylov. he is good. I faded him against Costa. I faded him against Hernandez. To be fair, yeah, people will say, oh, he was stuffing those takedowns for Hernandez. Yeah, I saw some people saying that, and that's why he's going to beat G-Rod. It's just tough comparison. Fluffy shoots 10 he got stuffed, I think, 10 takedowns in the first takedown, or in the first round. And then what happened when he got one? You know what I mean? And then what happened when he got the next one? You know what I mean? It's I don't know. And then G-Rod, he's not the type that's going to shoot a million takedowns. but he doesn't need to. He's shooting like power takedowns, and he's probably. I mean, I would love to see him bench press right next to Fluffy. Like, not that has any correlation to fighting, but there's going to be a massive strength difference between Fluffy and Gregory Rodriguez. At least in that early going. I was gonna say first round, but even early second. G-Rod is a freak. He probably has got to be one of the stronger guys in the division. And he's also a super high level black belt. And he also not just one of these strong guys who throws arm punches. Like, he actually hits hard. Like, is it the most technical striking? No, but he corrects. And I was a little salty even though I won money. I had him by knockout against Jack. And even I was like, damn, bro. You didn't have to like... That punch after the knockout was brutal. But I will admit, like, it wasn't looking, I figured it would kind of look a little like that before the knockout. But I'm just saying, like, G-Rod has his moments where he can be a little low volume, where he can strike when he probably should grapple, and he should definitely come out here and take Kopylov down. If he strikes, yeah, Kopylov is the more technical striker. The thing is, I think the grappling discrepancy is this big. You can't see my hands. It's that wide. But I think the striking discrepancy is like that. I think Kopylov is with his kicks, with his speed, he is the better striker, but it's not like Gregory can't knock him out or win a fight on the feet, or at least where they mix it up. Like, so I'm gonna go with the more well-rounded guy, the bigger finisher. I'm gonna go Greg Rodriguez, and I'm gonna say he does knock him out. Could be on the feet, but I'm gonna say he hurts him, like lands some shots in the feet, but ultimately it's the ground and pound. I'm gonna say ground and pound finish for Gregory Rodriguez, and let's move on. Bo Nickel makes his comeback against Rodolfo Vieira. I was trying to look at my notes to see if I had written any props down for that, but yeah, I mean, when I first saw this, people were like, oh, Bo just opened an underdog, and then I looked at it, and he's like minus 200, so yeah, I mean, this is just going to be a pass for me, so I won't go too long on this. Look, the thing is, like, I honestly would have liked other matchups for Bo. And because, like, I think people are being a little too harsh on Bo, man. Like, and especially now that DeRitter lost. Like, oh, see, he's not that good. It's like, oh, my God, you guys exhaust me. But Bo, he does have good power. He's got solid boxing. He's also one of the best wrestlers, like, in collegiate history. So, he's one of the best wrestlers, like, right now walking around Earth. So... he's still kind of green in MMA, man. Like, he is going to have to round out his game more. He's going to have to fill in the gaps, but he's still plenty young. RDR is a problem. I'm going to give him a bit of a pass for that. I don't think he quit. I've been hit with body shots. I've hit people with body shots. It just, you go down if it's a good one. And it was a good one. That's one of RDR's best strikes, and it got him good. I do think he... gassed himself a little. Do I think he has bad cardio? No, I think he tired himself out because he went for it. He was pushing the grappling, the wrestling, and he probably got a little bit more resistance than he thought he would, and it tired him out. Yeah, Adolfo, like, he's rounded out his game a ton, man. His striking, it didn't look good in that Petrosky fight, but overall, it's gotten a lot better. He's got a nasty jab. We've seen that on display, and I think, if Bo doesn't want to take him down and engage in prolonged grappling with, the black belt hunter, then, they're going to be striking. And, Bo does have, his boxing's gotten a lot better. He's got the power advantage here. But, Adolfo, he's got a nasty jab, and, he's been an MMA fighter for longer. He's been working his tools. He's been, he's got some decent kicks. Bo doesn't really throw a lot of kicks. So I think Bo wins. I think Bo by decision. Striking fight, probably. But, you got to be careful, man. I do think, as somebody who's saying take it easy on Bo, he still has the potential of being a champion. It's also kind of a scary matchup. Because he's not going to want to just take Adolfo down in the first minute and do 4 minutes on the mat. That would be dumb. But also, 15-minute striking battle with Vieira, could be a little tough. Like, I'm not saying Vieira's a lights-out striker, but... neither is Bo. But we can move on, man. Main card, we got Beneil Dariush taking on BSD, Benoit Saint Denis. Benoit coming in as a decent favorite. People have been super high on him always. I have been less so. I did fade him in both of these. I'm happy to say, against Hanato and Poirier. I actually had the over in the Propelec fight, which cashed by literally 1 second. I believe that was the one, right? I don't even want to click it and look, but I'm pretty sure that cashed like literally like 1 second after the over, 1.5. But yeah, and then the Rahoufy fight. Yeah, I shout out. A lot of people were on that dog. I knew he was live, but I did not bet him there. I haven't been as high on BSD as a lot of people, but I think of course he is the younger guy. Beneil has taken a ton of damage. He's been knocked out 5 times in his career out of his 6 losses. His only other one was when he got choked out by Chiesa. That's the thing though. BSD is typically winning these fights by sub, and Chiesa if he gets your back, man, he chokes you out. I don't know if BSD is so lights out on the mat. He's got good grappling. I'm not saying that Chiesa is a better grappler. It's just he's a specialist. He's a back-taking specialist. I think BSD, I don't really see him submitting Dariush. Unless he was, hurt, he is a club and sub. I think he probably would have to knock him out to finish him. I think he's got to hurt Beneil to win the fight. I think Beneil, can win. I mean, dude, we saw Beneil win the grappling and the scrambling against Camrot. We saw, he obviously got hurt against Moicano, but he weathered the storm and, fought a great fight and won. I won't say great fight. He got it done. I get why he's the underdog, I do, but one last ride, baby. I'm going to go Beneil Dariush. I'm going to pick him straight up. And you guys know, I've faded BSD a good bit. Hey, this will be the 3rd time I've actually bet. Oh, no, actually, no, I got to admit. I just realized. I remember I had Frivola bet here. I would love to have seen that fight play out. And, okay, let me just shut up and take I'm just saying, the head kick, do I think that happens a bunch of times? If they were to fight 10 times, that's probably the only time that happens. Regardless, he knocked my boy out, all right? But still, Frivola, does he have the greatest durability? Is he, he's been knocked out plenty of times. His striking defense isn't the best. Beneil Dariush, yeah, he's been knocked out. His striking defense isn't the best. But I do think Dariush, he can win minutes here. He could potentially even take BSD down. And then the striking, I think he's got the better striking. The better boxing, at least. The kicks, yeah, Benoit's got nasty kicks. That left kick to the body is disgusting. But I'm going to go Beneil. I'm going to take him, and I did bet him. Plus 173. Shout out to Bet105. Use my code CodyMMA. I think it's plus 170, 65 now. Yeah, I'm going to pick him straight up, and I bet him. One last ride, baby. Moving on, Leon Edwards taking on Carlos Prates. Yeah, really good fight. Carlos, obviously, good win, knocked out Jeff Neal. Disgusting elbow. Beating Jeff Neal is one thing, knocking him out, very impressive. Before that, it was a tough loss, but still, he and Gary, one of the best in the division. Yeah, I think Prates, obviously, he's got a lot of hype for a reason. The Gary loss, yeah, at least, hey, he ended with some aura. He almost finished him, yada, yada. The thing about Leon, everybody now wants to, and I never was the highest on Leon, yeah, I didn't see him performing as bad as he did in these 2 fights, but, I never thought, I always kind of thought it was kind of because of, at the time when Leon was champ, it was welterweight was a little weird, at the top. Great fighters, but it was a lot of older guys that the new breed hadn't come. And, Sean Brady was waiting right there, and you had Shavkat waiting right there. And, at the time, Hamzat, and obviously moved up, and Bilal was just coming in. It's kind of a turnover time, I feel like. And not trying to take away, but I'm just saying, and you can poke some holes into some of these wins. You can also, give him a lot of these were terrible performances here. But I will say, much different stylistic matchups. That's for sure. This matchup's going to be like a lot of the guys that Leon has actually beat. Obviously Carlos is a little different than anybody. He's got a unique style, and he's got big power. He's been finished. He's been hurt. He's not always the most defensively sound. But, he's also super dangerous himself. He trains with the Fighting Nerds. You got to think, even though we haven't seen a ton of the jiu-jitsu, at least, in the UFC, I'm sure it's pretty solid. But he ain't no Sean Brady, obviously. And I don't think he's shooting takedowns here. I think if anybody could get takedowns, it could sneakily be Leon. Yeah, it was disgusting. Borderline, like, FBI maybe need to look into it. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm just saying, the takedown that he shot against Sean Brady, like, that kind of tells me, like, you might have been looking for the door, and I don't love that. Or been like, I don't know. That just made no sense. Made 0 sense. Woo! It might have been the dumbest thing I've ever seen in MMA. Anyways, I think he could actually take Carlos down. I think this is 3 rounds. We haven't seen Leon have to fight 3 rounds in a while. I mean, yeah, this would probably be better for him if it was 5, just because of the experience. But, dude, I'm gonna have to go. I can't believe it. You guys called me a Leon hater. They've always called me a Leon hater. But bet 105 plus 182, Leon Edwards. And I'm going to let my nuts hang. I'm picking Leon Edwards straight. I'm going to take Leon Edwards. I'm going to take him by decision. One last ride for the former champ. I get it. He doesn't have he's on a lost 2 in a row. And Cortez has all the momentum minus that loss. But even that one, he only gained aura almost. I don't know, man. I think Leon can get it done here, man. So you're giving him a striker that's going to be trying to take his head off the whole time. Leon loves the counter. Give me Leon Edwards by decision. We move on to the aforementioned Sean Brady taking on Michael Morales. Oh, man. Fantastic fight, but honestly, as a bet, this is one where I will be honest with you guys, I'm going to be just watching this as a fan, man. Such a good fight. The winner of this fight is going to be probably next in line for the title. Especially, you would think if it's Sean Brady, probably should have already gotten the shot. He did lose to Bilal, obviously, and that wasn't too long ago. But still, a lot of people thought maybe he could have got it. But this is a good matchup, man. Morales, this is going to be obviously the toughest fight of his career. He's undefeated 18-0. Sean Brady only lost to the former champ Bilal, who finished him on the feet. Not a great look, but to be fair, it's just a styles thing. Sean is a grappler. I think he's gotten better since then, but he couldn't get the takedown. Bilal's tough to take down. And, then Bilal does have good boxing, man. People like to hate on it, but hey, he held his own against JDM. He didn't get destroyed in the boxing by JDM. Potentially the best boxer in the division. But I think Sean Brady, his striking has gotten better. He's gotten better. But, the striking does scare me a little bit. I think Morales is going to be, the better striker. He was weighing 210 not too long ago. This guy's huge. So he's the bigger, younger guy with the striking advantage. So I'll be honest, when I first saw this, I was thinking, I might be having to take a shot on the underdog. And then you go back and I remind myself of some of these fights and, because he, honestly, the outcome is all people really talk about. But, I get it. And, hey, 18-0, man. That's all that matters, right? But there's been some sketchy moments. He's been taken down. He's had some sketchy grappling moments. And I think Sean Brady's probably the best offensive grappler in the division. Yeah, probably. And it came down to me, is Sean Brady going to get takedowns? Is Sean Brady going to get takedowns? Because especially in that first round, because if he can't get takedowns in the first round, he's cooked. He's cooked, I think. Because I think that, not that we saw him slow down against Bilal, but, I think it was a stylistic thing. Morales is also, he's younger, and, we haven't, his gas tank has looked solid, but still, when you're cutting 50 pounds, he's not actually cutting all that, obviously, but, when you're walking around 215 to make 170, I don't know. It's just something to, I don't know how this guy's gas tank, if they go hard grappling for 15 minutes, how it's going to look, but overall, I'm going to lean Sean Brady because I think he can get takedowns. I've seen Morales get taken down by worse grapplers, and Sean Brady's technical jiu-jitsu is so sharp on top. I think he can make Morales work and stay on top. So give me Sean Brady. I don't think he finishes him. Maybe another decision, man. I'm going to take Sean Brady by decision. And we move on to the co-main event. We got Valentina Shevchenko taking on Weili Zhang. If you're in my Discord or you follow me on X, you probably know where I'm on here. But look, this is two of the greatest female fighters of all time. And I've been, a big fan of both these girls. Sometimes I'll have my little jokes about women's MMA, but never when it comes to these two. All right, these two girls are animals. They're beating up most dudes on the street. They're beating up, fucking most people and their fights are typically pretty fun. I mean, yeah, Valentina, some people will say some of her fights have been boring because she hasn't been always the biggest finisher. Okay, she's not the biggest finisher, but she's just so technical. Like, you gotta respect the just technique, the art on display. But yeah, I mean, I do get the knocks on her. And yeah, some people didn't love the Talia Santos decision. I thought she won the fight. Honestly, I had a bet on Santos as a big underdog. I thought Shevchenko probably edged it. But it was close. And then Alexa Grasso, she made one big mistake. It is what it is. I thought she clearly won the second one, and then she dominated the third one. Shevchenko's actually only been out-wrestled by... I want to say, Amanda Nunes took her down a couple times. Much bigger. This was a long time ago. I think she's gotten better since then. I think Talia Santos, the only girl really to take her down multiple times, other than Amanda Nunes. At least more than twice. Off the top of my head, Valentina, people were like, oh, what about Jennifer Maia? Dude, Jennifer Maia took her down and had a good round. Okay? Cool. What happened the rest of the fight? All right? Relax. And I know Zhang's been out wrestling girls too, and I will give her props on the Tatiana win, but I'm not as high on Tatiana as some others. I think she's a freaking beast. I think she's super good, but, again, when I say that, I think she's still top 3 in the division. It's just, I didn't think her wrestling was oh my God, we should go pick Zhang up and slam her on her head. But... it was impressive that Zhang took her down. But, I think, Suarez was kind of lost at that point. And then it's Yan, everybody takes her down. Lemos, everybody takes her down. Carla is Carla at her point of her career. And, outside of that, it's just okay, Rose out-wrestled her. I think Valentina can out-wrestle her. I do. I think Zhang's been able to use her wrestling in these matchups, and I don't think she can do that here. Yeah, I'm not saying she can't take Valentina down. It's a 5-round fight. I don't see her out-wrestling Valentina. If she gets a takedown or two, cool, yeah. I'm not saying it's impossible. She's very explosive. She's a freak athlete. And she's got good wrestling. And she's strong. Everybody saw a picture. Her picking up Francis Ngannou, whatever. I just think overall, if they get into prolonged grappling, Valentina not only can out-wrestle her, but just out-grapple her. So, and on the striking, I think, it's pretty close. Zhang is going to be quicker, more explosive, more powerful, but I think Valentina is the more technical striker. I think Valentina is more technical everywhere. I think Zhang is quicker. I think she's more explosive, more powerful. And, even though only 1 age different, maybe the athleticism is still there a little bit more for her, but Valentina is just so technical everywhere. She's just a winner. Really, I only thought she lost one fight to Amanda Nunes, which she ended whooping her ass in the third round. I thought she, no, that was the second fight, but still. And then I only thought she lost the first Alexa fight. Nobody really, who really thinks that the second fight Valentina didn't win, let alone Alexa won or was a draw? I think Valentina is potentially the greatest female to ever fight. Top 3, easy. Duh. Zhang is in the conversation, but I think with a win, Valentina could be the GOAT. I actually, it's her. Cyborg's there too, but it's her, Cyborg, and Amanda, and she could make a statement here. I'm gonna go Valentina as the underdog. She's a slight favorite. I bet her at -110. She's like minus 125 right now. I think best line, there might be a minus 120 out there. But minus 110, Shevchenko. Give me potentially the greatest female fighter of all time against a top 10 female fighter of all time. A top 7 female fighter of all time. Potentially 5. She's in there. She's in that realm. She's up there. You know what? If she wins, if she beats Valentina, I'd put her at probably 5 or 4. She's in that. But main event time. Make sure you like this video, subscribe. Sorry for that little area. If you noticed that in the middle of the video, let me know. You're a real one. You're really paying attention. You know what I'm talking about. JDM, Islam Makhachev for the 170-pound strap. Islam going for double champ status. Technically not because they stripped him, but we all know. Yeah, I mean, JDM's a freaking beast. Like, people are saying the paper champ, I guess maybe people aren't saying paper champ, at least the sane people, but there is a lot of people saying, oh, he's not actually the best in the division. This is a good matchup for Islam, yada, yada. Like, this is Shavkat's belt. Bro, is Shavkat even still an active fighter? Like, how long is it? I mean, I know he's been injured, but, like, I don't know, man. But it is what it is. I think JDM is a freaking problem. People never wanted to give Bilal his credit, so unfortunately it kind of rubbed off on JDM because when he finally beat Bilal, he didn't get as much credit as he should because people love to hate on Bilal for, I won't say no reason. He does kind of bring it on himself sometimes, but that's another story. But JDM, he's a really good fighter, man. He's a great boxer. I think his jiu-jitsu is pretty damn good. I think his wrestling has gotten better. I'm sure he is doing so much wrestling, not just in this fight camp, but in general for the past, couple of years. He's training with Craig Jones, one of the best grapplers in the world. He's training with Volk. Look, you can't count JDM out. He's such a good boxer. He's got big power. He's rounding out the grappling every day. But I just think Islam is one of those different freaks, man. I think Islam is, and yeah, you could poke some holes in some of these wins. Like, he got the title fight with a win over Bobby Green. Then he beats, you can't knock the Charles. But then he beat, Volk, GOAT, but still, up a weight class, and then short notice up a weight class, and then as my dogs are going nuts, is that supposed to tell me something? Is the dog live? But and then Dustin Poirier, one of my all-time favorite fighters, but maybe wasn't who should have been fighting for the title, as much as it pains me to say that. And obviously retired shortly after that, and then Renato Moicano after Armin pulled out. So it's like, yeah, you can poke some holes into some of these wins for sure, but still, man, the guy, you just watch him fight, and he's so good. He's so technical everywhere, so well-rounded. He's got power. He's got nasty kicks, solid cardio, the submissions, the wrestling, everything. He's a winner. He's got a great team around him, one of the best teams. He's super dedicated. The guy's committed to the game. I can't pick against Islam. I think he's one of the best lightweights of all time. He could potentially go down as the best lightweight of all time. Yes, this is not lightweight. This is 170, but I think he was probably the biggest 155er on the roster. I think the size is going to be okay. I'm not so worried as JDM being bigger as just Islam having to carry around an extra 20 pounds of weight. Like, that is worth talking about. I'm not worried about, JDM's so much big. Like, nah, man. They're going to be, the same size. But JDM is used to carrying around that weight. He's used to fighting guys that size. Islam's not. That's fair. I just think Islam is built different. I'll be rooting for Jack Della. No, nothing against Islam, but one, I like, I'm always rooting for the underdogs. And also, I like Jack, and I like the Craig team. But I'll have to pick Islam, man. Islam, probably sub. But if it goes 25, it's going to get dicey, because I do think JDM probably does have a bit of a cardio. He might have a cardio edge, especially new weight class. I think he probably could have a cardio edge, especially with Islam having to push the wrestling. Yeah. But we'll run through my picks. I'm going to go Islam by sub. I'm going to go Valentina by decision. I'm going to go Sean Brady by decision. Leon by decision. I'm going to say Beneil by knockout. Yeah, so three underdogs on that main card for me. But or no, never mind, just two. What am I talking about? And then on the prelims, we got Bo Nickel by I'm gonna take him by decision. I'm gonna go G-Rod by knockout. I'm gonna say Aaron Blanchfield by decision, Malcolm Wellmaker by decision, Kyle Daukaus, as much as it pains me, go Gerald, and I might bet him because that line is getting a little crazy. But I'll go Kyle by sub. I think someone's getting subbed. I'll say Chepe by knockout, Fatima by decision, Sursurkaev by knockout, and Camilo by, I'm going to say decision. As far as my bets, I already have Dariush locked in, plus 173, Leon Edwards locked in, plus 182, and Shevchenko, minus 110, all locked in. I am eyeing Chepe, potentially. It's plus 115 currently. I'll be watching that. Those Gerald, Cortez, McConico, and Hill lines are all a little wide in my eyes. I don't know if I'll play them. I'll be watching them. And then the props I'll be watching. It's only Tuesday, so check out all the shit later on in the week. Wager Wars Thursday, 8 p.m. We have DFS DFS by the numbers making his comeback against a very fun opponent. It's going to be one of two. I'm still trying to finalize it. I'll let you guys know tomorrow on Twitter. But follow me at Cody MMA. Follow that Wager Wars MMA on X and all that Twitter stuff. Subscribe, like this video, click your post notifications, all that good stuff. And don't forget about that little thing I mentioned at the beginning of the video. I appreciate you guys. Make some money. Enjoy the fights. I will catch you guys Thursday.